Greetings once again, pirates on the high seas. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with One Piece. Previously, the Cross Guild is in full swing. Vice Admiral T-Bone, apparently killed by a civilian looking to collect on the Cross Guild bounty, much to the dismay of Sengoku and Tsuru, who soon after learned from Hina that Garp had gone to Hachinosu, the beehive full of lead island, with Tsuru's granddaughter Kajaku going as well. Who knows how that's gonna play out. We also get to see that some of the civilians who collect bounties for the Cross Guild end up being inducted into the Cross Guild. A genius plan if I do say so myself. As well, if somebody's powerful enough to take down a vice admiral, taking them from civilian to wanted pirate is a no-brainer. And if they're willing to pull a job for the Cross Guild, why not pull them into the fold full time? But after the Cross Guild's new ship is constructed, in the visage of Buggy, of course, Mihawk and Crocodile discuss things with Buggy. But as the two start to plan things out, Buggy speaks out, and we find that originally Buggy had all intention to follow Shanks, as he thought Shanks would be the next king of the pirates. But for some reason, Shanks hasn't made his move until now. And now that Buggy is an emperor through happenstance, he gives a stirring speech to his men about reaching out for the One Piece and becoming the next king of the pirates. Something I doubt the likes of Crocodile and Mihawk can go against, as while they're strong on their own, they still need people. After all, Yonko is built on people, territory, manpower. Lastly, we pick up with the Revolutionary Army, and we see that Sabo makes his way to the Kamabaka Kingdom, as he managed to escape from Leloucia's destruction, as he was taking several people from Leloucia, including the milkmaid Moda, to join up. And I have to believe that the destruction of Leloucia doubled down the new revolutionaries' want to take down the world government. And while Sabo is saddened to learn that Kuma had escaped after the effort to free him, he has more dire news himself, only sharing it with Dragon and Ivanka, the truth of what happened at the leveling. Will we finally find out why Sabo supposedly killed Cobra? Or will we switch to another event? Join me as I find out, won't you? What the heck is this? One Piece chapter 1083, The Truth of That Day. Reader requests Doflamingo offering his coat as a new home for a chick that fell from the nest. This makes me think of the crocodile bird sandbath thingy. He's even gonna give the chick a band-aid. Oh my goodness. These reader requests. Okay, so we are picking up with Sabo. We pick up in the Kamabaka Queendom. We see the other members of the revolution outside chatting it up. As Sabo tells Dragon and Ivanka, I managed to complete all of my objectives. Broadly speaking, I had three. First, to destroy the symbol of the celestial dragons in a declaration of war. Second, to free as many slaves as I possibly could, and take back Kuma. And third, to venture into the land of the gods and destroy their food stockpile. Oh, food stockpile. Interesting. I guess that would force them to go venturing out more often, allowing for the revolutionaries to have more opportunities to try to infiltrate. Sabo asks, how did I do? Dragon tells him, you certainly drew the world's attention, and thanks to the fact that you kept a large part of the Navy's strength occupied, our influence in a dozen countries around the world sparked the people to take up arms, ending in 8 successful revolutions. Ivanka adds, but don't forget, out of those 8 countries, one was Leloucia, which vanished mysteriously without a trace. Dragon then adds, they won't write about it in the papers, but the 7 countries now under new leadership have cut off all heavenly tribute to the government and stopped exporting natural resources. A bit of a stranglehold. Eva excitedly adds, all around the world, our revolutionaries are attacking the government's cargo ship, cutting off vital supply lines to Marijoa. They like to call Marijoa an impenetrable fortress, because of its great elevation, but they have no defense against a lack of food. Let's see how you like living without money in the bank or dinner on the table. Yeehaw! It's a good plan, actually. Sabo asks, that'll hit him hard, won't it? Dragon says, almost certainly. We haven't cut off all of their supply lines, but they're surely starting to feel the pain in the capital by now. Of course, these are not the kind of people who stay quiet under duress. If they mobilize the Holy Knights, that's where the fighting will begin. Ooh, okay. Oda's like obscuring the way the Holy Knights look, so And we also heard that what was his name? The dude who Otohime talked with, the guy who became a good celestial dragon, who was also one of the Don Quixote family members. He was being dealt with by the Holy Knights. Moscard, was it? I don't think we ever found out what happened to him, but we're definitely building up the Holy Knights to be like a big force in terms of Marijoa. Okay, good. Maybe it's a title given to those who ascend beyond an admiral, like real fighting power. That'd be pretty cool. Eva then says, Sabo, I mean Flame Emperor boy, you're the one they'll be after most of all. Sabo cringes and says, still not feeling that name. Oh, that's a pretty good name. Dragon then adds, regardless of the truth behind it, the assassination of King Cobra has turned you into a hero in the eyes of the people. From the perspective of the rebellious, anyone affiliated with the world government is an enemy. Of course, there are many wicked kings who oppress their people, but there are also wise and just kings who are capable rulers. King Cobra of Alabasta was known far and wide as a noble leader, a man of great character, but news does not always spread accurately. Sabo says, well, I'm sorry to King Cobra, but this way suits me just fine. See, That's kind of cold, but he didn't know Cobra like that. Dragon pours Sabo and Eva a drink, and Sabo takes it, saying anything to get the flames of revolution burning. Damn, hardcore. Dragon does say, I like that attitude. And Eva then puts a paper on the table saying, let's hear your story then. Tell us the truth behind this article. And it shows outright a picture of Sabo standing over Cobra's bloody body. Jeez, King Cobra assassinated. Eva says, we tearfully begged and pleaded, searching for a reason for you to do this. We all want to believe in you. And Dragon says nothing, simply taking a drink. While Sabo looks at the paper, obviously in distress. Is it doctored? What happened? We then do a flashback. Over 1 month earlier, Land of Gods, Sacred Marijoa, during the Reverie. Levelly, calling it Reverie in the manga. Weird. We have an announcement saying, intruders in the Land of the Gods. 4 revolutionary captains have been sighted. And you see several celestial dragons running, shouting, agents to arms! The food storage exploded! We're under attack! Blast it all. They're not satisfied just by desecrating the symbol of our nobility. They've got to take our gourmet food, too! It's ugly jealousy from nameless peasants. Catch them all and strike off their heads. And when that's done, put our security forces to the sword necks. They deserve death for letting this happen to us. Jeez. You have one celestial dragon riding an old pirate, whipping him, saying, I told you to pull faster, you lazy mutt. What if something were to happen to me? Enough, I'll walk on my own. Consider yourself terminated, scum, he says as he pulls a gun on the old man. But suddenly, a crow swipes the gun out of the man's hand, who says, my gun! Who did that? We see Karasu forming on a nearby roof, taking the gun, saying, Karatsut. He then sends another crow over to the old pirate, telling him, run into town, to the east. The man says, huh? Alright. Government agents then appear, saying, die, rebel scum, shooting at Karasu. More agents show up, shooting at Karasu, with the government agents saying, evacuate to safety, St. Plumbing. St. Plumbing? Okay. He's literal shit. Gotta pump him full of lead. Well, St. Plumbing says, eradicate him entirely? But Karasu seems to dissipate into darkness and feathers? What is his ability? The agents look on at the dissipating Karasu, saying, huh? What is he? He's been eradicated? But suddenly darkness flows past their feet, and a dark figure appears behind them. Karasu then makes several spikes of darkness appear below the government agents, sending them flying as Karasu uses Oblesut, captain of the Northern Forces Revolutionary Army. Karasu, soot fruit. Oh, it's soot. Huh, okay. Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense then. He just likes crow themes. That's actually kind of ironic for the whole Oliver Twist look that Sabo has going on. So he's a soot man. We then see Lindbergh raining down blaster fire using his laser shooter on the chains of the slaves, telling them, "Hurry! Wait on the east side of town. We're gonna get out of here together. Not until you're safe and sound." The slaves cry back, thank you so much. It's Lindbergh, captain of the Southern Forces of the Revolutionary Army, and he definitely has no devil fruit. Lindbergh then notices a massive explosion going off in the distance, going, "Whoa, there they go." One of Karasu's soot crows come by, telling Lindbergh, "Coming this way, liberate them faster." Lindbergh tells Karasu on it, as we see Karasu going up against Fujitora, as Karasu unleashes a barrage of soot crows at Fujitora using Crow Soul Lotus. I do vibe with Karasu, the aesthetic, honestly. But Fujitora manages to cut down all of the soot crows. Ooh, we then see Morley going up against Ryukyugu. It seems like they're evenly matched. Man, it makes me kind of think the captains of the Revolutionary Army are a lot more powerful than a lot of people gave them credit for. Wild. Captain of the Western Forces, Revolutionary Army, Morley. As Morley does battle with Ryukyugu, she says, "Ew, why is this boy so angry all the time?" Ryukyugu says, "Because you're wrecking this city, obviously. Where did your leader go?" Morley says, "Why are you trying to violate my privacy, perv?" Oh my god. Although, honestly, Morley is doing a lot of damage, and she's just pushing the ground out of the way, and you see celestial dragons just falling over and stuff. With Ryukyugu saying to Morley, Who are you calling a perv?" Morley says, "Ew, don't stare at me like that." Oh man. But then the celestial dragon calls out, "You'll be put to death if anyone gets hurt, Ryukyugu." With Ryukyugu thinking to himself, "How do you expect me to do my job? Get out of here, man." And I think Ryukyugu then asks, "Fujitora, what are you doing?" And Fujitora says, "I'm dropping a meteor." Ryukyugu says, "No, you idiot, anything but that." Okay, we see the other members of CP9, now CP0, all decked out in their white outfits. And I think Jabra is speaking, saying, "Two admirals. If this weren't the land of the gods, they could wipe the map clean between the two of them." Bluno adds, "The revolutionaries are putting up a good fight, handicap or not." While Kumadori adds, "Those army captains are all serious business, and they're weird. Yo-yoy!" While Fukuro does his little tra-pa-pa-pa. Oh god. Alright, so the revolutionary captains are fighting. Where's Sabo? There we go. Karasu radios into Sabo saying, "Sabo, have you found the collar key yet?" Sabo, sneaking inside Castle Pangea, says, "Any minute now. I found out the location." He then calls out for Lindbergh. Lindbergh says, "What?" Sabo radios back, "Kuma's moved to Pangea Castle too," with Lindbergh going, "Huh?" Chief of Staff, Revolutionary Army, Sabo. As Sabo peeks around one of the corners, he says, "I saw him with St. Roswald and his son Carlos. I'm sure they're plotting revenge for what happened in the mingling courtyard earlier." Lindbergh goes, "Excuse me?" Yeah, we see St. Roswald and Carlos, as well as Kuma, making their move, with Carlos going, "She will be mine," with Sabo adding he probably hasn't given up on Princess Shirahoshi yet. Gee. And I think Shirahoshi is chatting with Manchuri? I'm not sure. But Lindbergh tells Sabo, "We'll never let him use Kuma like that." Sabo says, "Of course we won't. Morley, get ready." And Morley says, "You got it." We then see Jewelry Bonnie making her way through the castle, calling out for her dad, so she's probably also chasing down Kuma. I'm surprised she and Sabo had to have crossed paths. I think we then cut over to the Red Port? Weird. Where, of all people, Vivi and Rob Lucci are talking. Wild. With Vivi saying, "Will you leave me alone? I'm going to ask Vice Admiral Garp for help." Well, Rob Lucci says, "But we are here to protect you." And Vivi tells him, well, it certainly didn't look that way with Shirahoshi back there. You're not stupid. You know they'll go after her again. We then pick up with King Cobra outside the housing of the Five Elders, with one of the guards saying only King Cobra is permitted an audience with the Five Elders, with Pell going, but Cobra says, Chaka, Pell, this will not take long, but I don't want you waiting around getting bored. Go and stand watch over Vivi instead. I can't help but worry over that tomboy daughter of mine. Okay, so more than likely it was the elders who did something. But how did they do it? How did they make it look like Sabo killed Cobra? And why aren't Chaka and Pell with Vivi? How did it end up being Wapple who ended up being with Vivi? See, that's the thing. Because of the way the newspaper was framed, it makes it look as though only Sabo and Cobra were there. But there's no way they wouldn't mention that it was in the audience chamber of the Gorosei. Or maybe that was left out to keep it from seeming as though it's so easy to get to the Gorosei, the Five Elders. I don't know. And we know that Shirahoshi got back home safely, so I figured that, okay, maybe the thing with Carlos was the end of it. But to know they made another attempt on top of everything, and Bunny had to have gotten to Kuma. But then again, for her not to be with the revolutionary, it had to be Kuma's power that got all these people in so many different locations. I mean, Sabo ends up near La Lucia, Bonnie ends up close to Egghead, more or less. Vivi ends up in the same area as Big News Morgan. It's too wild. I wonder, with the former members of CP9 here, I mean, did they get in trouble for letting this happen? Or were they kind of off the hook? Because they were supposed to be protecting the proceedings going on with the various kings and stuff. It's cool to finally find out about Karasu's power. I kept wondering. It's like some kind of weird darkness, but it's hard to tell. And because he keeps forming it into crows, it's like, what? But now that it's just like, oh, it's soot. It's like, oh, it's soot. I guess that makes a lot of sense. It's just because he keeps insisting on forming it into crows. That keeps throwing me. Yeah, and even in that picture of Sabo standing over Cobra, it's more of a look of, well, that kind of sucks. It's really hard to tell that Cobra's dead there. I mean, I like knowing that the revolutionaries had more of a plan than just getting Kuma back. Makes a lot more sense what the operation that they were pulling. Just, I don't know. Whole situation feels a little sketch, to be honest. But, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How did Sabo and Cobra's paths end up meeting when they were basically doing two very different things? Was it just simply the chaos of the situation? Or was there more to it than that? And what do you think about the two admirals having such a tough time with the captains of the revolution? Because for me personally, I say good. We've really been downplaying the captains of the revolution, and it feels like they should be like strong figures, all things considered. Although there is the excuse of them needing to hold back because they can only do so much. They can't really cut loose. But I want to hear from you. So also remember to subscribe for more One Piece. And until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.